Thanks to the folks who led the way. Thanks to the folks, let us thank them every day.
Welcome to the Fresh Toones Show. My name is Dave Paltz, and today is one of my inspirational live shows. It's dedicated to Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Forgive my pronunciation, gave it my best shot. The guy is really an inspiration to me to be able to lead the Ukrainian people in this fight with Russia, which they never wanted to have any part of. It was just forced on them. He's kept his people together, and they fought like the Dickens to keep the Russians at bay and hopefully drive them out of their country and be able to live in peace again. I'm going to start out today's show with a song that seems to be really related to what we see going on in Ukraine these days. It's a song by Dennis Lambert and Brian Potter, and it was from the late 60s. Being a child of the 60s, I can think back and remember what this song meant to me at the time. It was 1969, and there was a lot of stuff going on in the United States at that time also. The song is called One Tin Soldier. Listen, children, to a story that was written long ago about a kingdom on a mountain, the valley folk below. On the mountain was a treasure buried deep beneath a stone, and the valley people swore they'd have it for their very own. Go ahead and hate a neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day, on the bloody morning after. One tin soldier rides away. So the people of the valley sent a message up the hill, asking for the buried treasure, tons of gold for which they'd kill. Came an answer from the kingdom, with our brothers we will share all the secrets of our mountain, all the riches buried there. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, and justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing on the judgment day, on the bloody morning after. One tin soldier rides away. The valley cried with anger, mount your horses, draw your sword. And they killed the mountain people, so they won their just reward. Now they stood beside the treasure on the mountain dark and red. Turned the stone and looked beneath it, peace on earth was all it said. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, and justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day, on the bloody morning after. One tin soldier rides away. Rides away, rides away. I'd like to continue on this show dedicated to Zelenskyy by telling a little bit of his background, and a lot of folks may be familiar with his story, but I thought I'd just share a brief little story of his life. And it goes like this. Volodymyr Zelenskyy was born to Jewish parents on January 25th, 1978, in the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic. He grew up as a native Russian speaker in central Ukraine. Prior to his acting career, he obtained a degree in law. He then pursued comedy and created a production company which produced films, cartoons, and TV shows, including the TV series Servant of the People. In that show, he played the role of the Ukrainian president. The series was immensely popular, and a political party bearing the same name as the television show was created in March 2018. He later would announce his candidacy in the 2019 Ukrainian presidential election. He won the election with 73% of the vote, and he positioned himself as an anti-establishment and anti-corruption figure, just like the character he played in the series, Servant of the People. As president, Zelenskyy has been a proponent of unity between the Ukrainian and Russian-speaking parts of the country's population. Zelenskyy promised to end Ukraine's protracted conflict with Russia as part of his presidential campaign, and has attempted to engage in dialogue with the Russian president, Vladimir Putin. Putin has ignored these attempts and describes his war on Ukraine as being against its neo-Nazi leaders, ignoring the fact that Zelenskyy is Jewish and that members of his family were murdered by the Nazis. Zelenskyy's administration faced an escalation of tension with Russia in 2021. Zelensky's strategy during the Russian military buildup was to calm the Ukrainian populace and assure the international community that Ukraine was not seeking to retaliate. After the start of the invasion, Zelenskyy declared a general mobilization of the armed forces. His leadership during the crisis has won him widespread international admiration, and he has been described as a symbol of the Ukrainian resistance.
Ukrainian love song floats with freedom's breeze, seeks to feed the hunger for people to be free. Ukrainian love song floats with the breeze.
Well, the will of the Ukrainian people has been something that's been amazing. Certainly it's been a great asset to have a leader like Zelenskyy. Leads me into the next song I want to share with you. It's called If There's a Will, There's a Way.
America can't breathe if we refuse to see the things we need to change today. We've worked through harder things, some say this one's too big. There's a will, there is a way. So lift up your eyes now, stand up and say, well, she's not perfect and neither am I. We've got to work together if we want to survive. We've got to use our heads and figure it out and be brave enough to look at ourselves. 'Cause America can't breathe if we refuse to see the things we need to change today. We've worked through harder things, some say this one's too big. But there's a will, there is a way. We've got to lift up our eyes now, stand up and say, well, she's not perfect and neither am I. We've got to work together if we want to survive. We've got to use our heads and figure it out. Be brave enough to look at ourselves. America can't breathe if we refuse to see the things we need to change today. We've worked through harder things, some say this one's too big, but if there's a will, there is a way. If there's a will, there is a way. There's a will, there is a way. If there's a will, there is a way. If there's a will, there is a way. If there's a will, there is a way.
Well, as we see millions of people being forced from their country and their homes being destroyed in Ukraine, we might feel frustrated that we can't do more to stop it, but we can certainly do something to help the folks that find themselves in that position. There are many different nonprofit groups that support the Ukrainian people as they try to flee from the war. This song is called Just Do What You Can Do.
Just do what you can. Just let your love be your friend. When you know just who you are, your life will be your love. Your life will become the vision that you saw long ago. You strive to see the sunlight that finally brought you home. You were always searching for love. You were always digging for love. You were always thinking of love. And now love sings to you. We must become all we can. Reach out and lend our hand. It's the same hand that gave you love, now gives you peace of mind. Your life became the vision that you saw long ago. You strive to see the sunlight that finally brought you home. You were always searching for love. You were always digging for love. You were always thinking of love. And now love sings to you. Sings to you. Sings to you.
This is the Fresh Toones Show, and today's show is an inspirational live show dedicated to Volodymyr Zelenskyy. I'm going to continue with this dedicated show to him with this song called Angel of Justice. Hopefully the angel of justice that hovers above will descend and bring some justice to the Ukrainian people that have been forced into this terrible war. Angel of Justice. The angel of justice descends from on high, a virtue so brightly floods night with her love. Truth prods us daily to do what's right. She compensates those who hold fairness high. Poetic justice, the poets say, rolls down the tracks, can't stop that train. Majority seem too often to misjudge the luggage they carry, so hard to overcome. Steeped in advantages they've always known, their moral codes flex and just for them. They'll fight like hell, say it's all there. They'll dress up their falsehood, scream the angel's not fair. The angel of justice floats impending above for those who refuse now. Justice will come. The angel of justice will come. Well, at this time when so much pain is being inflicted on the Ukrainian people, let the majority of the world come together and show some of our humanhood. That's the name of this next song, and starts out about brotherhood and sisterhood, but the best hood of all is humanhood. Brotherhood, sisterhood, best of all is humanhood. Broken music we must make whole, broom out the goods that we've been sold, hand out the notes we know ring true, give hope to those consumed in gloom. Brotherhood, sisterhood, best of all is humanhood. Dare we to broach the battle line, the specter of the great divide, forces that
disunifying those that we must define. Brotherhood, sisterhood, best of all is humanhood. With fortitude, we'll stand steadfast to build the world we hope to cast. We'll raise the mast of fellowship and sail with love into a rest. Brotherhood, sisterhood, best of all is humanhood. Best of all, best of all, best of all is humanhood.
This next fresh tune speaks for itself. It's called Help Us Every Day.
Help us to carry on. Help us when we do things that don't belong. Help us when we might turn away. Oh, help us every day. Help us to help the ones in need. Help us to believe that what I have is not me. Oh, help us to see. Help the ones that fade away. Help the ones that say that's all fine and good. I sure wish I could help, 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 help us to carry on. Help us when we create things that don't belong. Help us when we might turn away. Oh, oh, help us every day. Help, help, help.
To wrap up today's Fresh Tune Show, dedicated to Volodymyr Zelenskyy, I'm going to play a hopeful song here that maybe will leave us upbeat and feeling like we can do things to make things better. It's called Mountains of Love, and it's a pretty recent song of mine. So here we go with Mountains of Love.
There are mountains of struggles, peaks jagged with pain, minds full of love, yet to be claimed. Mountains of love rise up above. Our view, though small, gives hope to us all. The mist it fades in the morning light, gives faith that someday our love will be We ascend to the top as we climb up the crags. The summit invites, the precipice stands. Mountains of love rise up above. Our view, though small, gives hope to us all. The mist, it fades in the morning light, gives faith that someday our love will be our guide. To see clear intentions that tower above, give faith that someday our hopes will become mountains of love rising up above. Our view, though small, gives hope to us all. The mist, it fades in the morning light, gives faith that someday our love will be our guide. Will be our guide. Will be our guide.
And that's it for the Fresh Toones show today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Keep the faith. Keep helping other folks out. We'll do the best we can. That's all we can do. Have a great week now. Bye.
Thanks to the folks who led the way. Thanks to the folks, let us thank them every day.